Today we have the updated and improved 2023 F-350. This Super Duty now gets new looks, it gets new technology, it gets more power and more torque, and it is an absolute beast. Today we're going to take a look at the exterior, the interior, talk about all the specs with this, and get it out on the road for a test drive. Let's get started. All right, y'all, let's take a look at the exterior details of this Super Duty. So this is the F-350 limited trim, and that means it's the top trim. So starting up right up front, we've got a brand new front end. Ford said they wanted to make this a little more modern, yet a little bit more muscular. You've got an updated C-clamp daytime running light design. Still got the tow hooks up here, LED headlights, LED fog lights. They're even adaptive LED lighting, so when you turn the wheel, they're gonna turn with you. And you got Super Duty stamped right up on the front. Obviously, we've got the dual rear wheels. We also have the long box, so you've got the long wheelbase version here, and this is a massive, massive truck at 266 inches long, 17-inch wheels here. If you go to the F-450, you're gonna get 19.5-inch ones, but what do you think of that? Obviously, Ford gives us some towing mirrors. You've got the lights on the side. We've got more lighting available. You've got the towing mirror there, the extendability, the folding function as well. And even right up here, we'll talk more about this, but you've got the touchpad entrance. From the side, I told you it's 266 inches long. You still get 9.8 inches of ground clearance, which is actually quite good. That's the minimum ground clearance. The back, we have the optional 3.55 ratio limited slip axle. You can get different ratios for the rear end. And of course, Ford's gonna give you leaf springs back here. You've got limited right on the back of the tailgate here. We'll talk about towing specs and all of that in just a bit. You're gonna get a full-size spare tire back here and your double exhaust outlet. Now, when it comes to the bed, there's definitely a lot of practicality here. We have the long bed, obviously with this long wheelbase. It's an 8-foot bed, or you can get a 6 3/4 foot bed. And there's a couple things here. So to get into the back, you've got this built-in step right here. This is really nice, because a lot of times if your stuff is to the back, you got this step to be able to get in easily. Obviously, you can step on the tire. And you also have this one right here, and there's even a little grab handle right there to help you with that. There's also a couple really cool things here that I like to see. First of all, this isn't new, but Ford gives you an electronic up and down tailgate. So you can have this power tailgate if you want, if your hands are full. And in addition to those steps, you still have the built-in step here that we've seen for a long time. Obviously easy to get in that way too. The other thing, if you've got a load and you have your tailgate down, you know, it can be kind of annoying to know exactly where your tailgate is when you're backing up to something. Well, this now has parking sensors built into the tailgate and a camera. So you can actually see when you're backing up, or have sensors to tell you when you're backing up, when your tailgate's down, so you're not gonna run into something. Okay, let's take a closer look here. So first of all, I showed you the bed, or the step right there, but you also get Ford's integrated ruler right here, like we've seen from the light duty F-Series. You also have the tailgate tie down, or the dual purpose bottle opener on the bottom there if you want. You can see we've got an LED light in here on both sides, which is fantastic. You've got the tie downs as well. We've got LED bed lighting up there, and this tonneau cover is an optional feature. It's a pretty expensive tonneau cover, but this might be something that you like. This is aluminum. You can actually load, I believe, up to 500 pounds on there. It's lockable with a key, and you can undo that and pretty much just slide it out of the way. You can stop it wherever you want as well. You can move it all the way back, and it hangs out in this fairly compact canister. It does take up some bed space, not as much as a toolbox, but then you got a wide open bed. You can close it if you want, and if water gets in that, it has a drain tube. It can go out, as you can kind of see on the bottom there. So the one thing I would worry about is, right now it's raining. I grew up north where it freezes all the time. I would worry about it being frozen, not being able to, first of all, lift it or slide through this mechanism if it's frozen, but that's just me. You've got the ability for fifth wheel, gooseneck, whatever you need to as far as towing goes for those. Just a huge bed overall. And of course, Ford gives you some available plugs. You've got that side, tie downs that I showed you. You've also got 2 power outlets back here as well. You do get some Pro Power onboard available, like we saw in the light duty truck as well, so that's fantastic. Ford gives us the same key fob. You've got your typical buttons on here. Like I said, you can open or close the tailgate. You also have remote start on here as well. Nice diesel sound with the startup. When you approach it or unlock the vehicle, you've got these power folding running boards right here. These are nice because this is a pretty tall ride. You also have smart key access. You can push that to lock it, or you've got a sensor in the back to unlock it, or you can use the touchpad right there. So I mean, you've got a lot of different options here. Coming inside, of course, Ford is going to give you these nice, plush, comfortable leather seats. You even have speakers built into the headrest. I also love that Ford gives you the available tilting headrest, so you can have it where it's comfortable for you. This back support is also ratcheting to tilt. So I mean, you can pull it all the way forward and it will sling back, or if you want to be sitting up a little more, you can prop it out like that, kind of like that side is. You don't see this in very many vehicles. This is definitely a luxury feature. You've got pretty good bolstering in here, although it doesn't feel aggressive. The whole seat is comfortable and plush. Bottom, sides, everything is nice. You've got a ton of adjustments, more than what this shows, because you can adjust things on the screen. Push that center button and you've got a massage function ready to go. The steering wheel is also leather wrapped, power adjustable, and in addition to that, you've got memory settings right here, and it can automatically put your seat and steering wheel where you want it. Take a look at this. Ford gives us the max recline seats, where you've got a significant amount of recline function going on here, but then it also moves the seat bottom cushion to make this more comfortable for you to lay down versus a typical seat that reclines only part way. You see that button right there with the little foot pedal and the arrows? You can move the pedals in or out. We've seen this on other vehicles and different heavy duties, but it's nice that if you're tall or short, you can accommodate yourself in here pretty well. And getting in, you've got a grab handle here and a grab handle over there, as well as the ones for the back seat. Now Ford gives you a heated steering wheel, heated seats, and ventilated seats, and there's even some more. So if I make an adjustment on my seat, it will pop this up right here, where you can inflate the lower lumbar, middle lumbar, upper lumbar. You can control the massage for you and your passenger as well, and you've got different options for massage. It's not a fantastic massage, but it is still nice because you get pressure in different areas that you want. It's really nice. Now climbing inside behind where I was sitting at 5'9". So this is where I'm comfortable sitting, and right here, you know, I've got this seat up a little bit, but there's still not a ton of foot space, but I got a ton of knee space. I mean, the back seats in these Super Cruise are absolutely massive. You can get regular cabs, Super Cabs, or Super Cruise, and of course we have the Super Crew right here. Right in front of us, you even get heated seats back here. You've got 2 USB-C charging ports. You've got power, or 2 AC vents. Also get cup holders up there. I love those cup holders right there because the driver can use them, passengers can use them, anybody can use them. And then just like you get up front, we've got a 12-volt power outlet and a 3-prong outlet back here too. Easy to plug in. It's fantastic. I have to plug some stuff in while I'm on the go, and you got that ability. You also got the 5G Wi-Fi ability. It's fantastic. The door is also nice too, because you still get nice soft material here, even for the back seat. You got these cup holders right there, storage galore in the doors too. Center folding armrests right there, padded armrests, a couple of cup holders right there. You got a nice view with this ultra suede headliner and this twin panel moonroof. And sitting up tall right here, even with my hat, still plenty of room for me. So if you've got a 6+ footer in the front and a 6 footer in the back, they both will probably be pretty comfortable. One of my favorite things about the back seats of the Super Cruise is the versatility. So you've got a really flat floor running across right there. You can have it like this, obviously, but you've got a 40-60 split fold. You've got this lockable storage area right here. So this is something you can make completely flat. You can fold this down, you can have it up. No matter what you have with the seats, if you fold it down, then you've got a pretty close to flat load floor. And when the seat is down, like that, you just stick your key in right there and you can lock it so you can have some items back here. Now let's take a closer look at the interior. So you've got actual nice material up here. Same with this armrest. Little storage bin down there, and a ton of storage and bottle holders down there as well, like you've typically seen. Everything looks very familiar over here from what we've seen before. You've got different lighting controls, including your mirror lights, headlights, pedal adjustment, and parking brake. Right in front of us, again, a heated leather steering wheel. We've got the same kind of steering wheel controls we've seen. We've got radar cruise control, lane keeping system, things that you might not expect in here. This can control, you can control some audio, your information display, which is a massive 12-inch cluster, and there's a lot of different things that you can do and see on here. So this is somewhat customizable as well. Tons of different information available to you. You can even customize your own My View and have whatever it is that you want to see. Overhead, Ford gives you a good size head-up display as well. It's got a lot of information and it's very easy to see. And then check this out. Like I said, the boss's truck here, I mean, this is nice material up here, completely unnecessary, but you still get it. You also have a rubber mat next to your B&O audio speaker right there, so this won't slide around. Quick access to a camera. This truck is loaded with cameras, so you've got different views that you can see right here. You got your surround view. You can tap on the surround view, zoom in on a certain section like that. We can have a bed camera. You can see what's going on back there. Quick access to other ones. Hitch camera next to the vehicle. You can add a camera to your trailer, have a trailer camera. It's just really nice. There's a ton more that you can do on this massive 12-inch screen too. So take a look at this. You've got connectivity hotspot right there. You have 5G now available on this Super Duties, on all these Super Duties now. That's fast. I mean, you got 5G. You can make this a mobile hotspot, work on the go. You can adjust your seats from here. We even have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This is wireless and built in, while you still have your menu system down here. Check out these other features. So we've got a lot to cover here. Zone lighting, talk to you about this in other, you can literally illuminate the entire area around the vehicle. It's gonna turn on all the lights that it can to give you a nice bright area to work if you're working. Pro Power onboard, 2 kilowatt available power to where you can plug in. You can get a lot of different power output and plug different items in, and it's going to monitor that on here for you as well. You can turn your running boards off or on, all your driver assist stuff, braking, radar cruise control, lane keeping system, an entire menu for towing. So if you're hooking up a trailer, you're going to be set. You got a checklist you can go through. It even has onboard scale, so it can estimate how much weight you have, and a smart hitch is basically where it can back the truck up under a hitch for you to make sure that that's as easy as possible. I mean, it pretty much takes the work out of backing up and getting up under a hitch. In addition to that, you've got the Pro Trailer Backup Assist, where you can use this dial when you have a trailer connected and turn it. You've probably seen commercials for it, where it's going to back it up for you. Essentially, you don't really have to control much, you just control that dial. Right below that, you've got a trailer brake controller. It's a good spot, I think. Same thing with the 4-wheel drive controls right here. You can spin this dial for your drive modes too, or go into your actual 4-wheel drive controls. So when I spin the drive mode dial, we've got normal. You can see on the bottom everything that's going to pop up right here. You go back to where you can get to your tow haul mode, and then you actually have an eco mode too. Down there you get some physical controls for your radio. You've got dual zone climate controls down here. You can have a 3-tier automatic system for your automatic climate control, so you can have it not blast you out with super high fan speed. Over there you've got a 12-volt power outlet, so that could be somewhat convenient if you've got something hooked up that you've got running up onto the dash cam or something like that, or just charging anything else. And then you got a 120-volt 3-prong outlet right there as well. Push this button just like we saw before. You've got an extra glove box and a main large locking glove box right there. Well, it's not actually that large, but at least it's lockable. Just below that, we've got a wireless charging mat right there. You've got 2 USB charging ports. This is actually what they call like a tablet holder. So, I mean, you could stick, my phone's not gonna work that great, but you can have something sitting there where you can see that, work with that as you need to. This, just like we've seen in Super Duties, you can have it open where you just have a big storage area, regular cup holders there, or you can essentially make it to where you got 4 cup holders. And Ford actually made a pretty large area up underneath of there to where you can stash a couple more items there. Right here you've got the big limited badge, a nice large leather soft armrest. Open this up. Right down here you've got a movable tray. You've got a couple of USB-C charging ports down there, a light. Otherwise it's just massive and wide open. Right up overhead we have a little bit of interior ambient lighting that shines down. These are LED interior lights, sunglass holder up there, plus you've got your auxiliary switches, and Ford has their Pro Upfit system to where you can attach snowplows or lights or whatever you need to, and it integrates easily with this Super Duty. We've got garage controls on there. This is even like a suede, kind of micro suede headliner on here. Not expected, but something you get with the limited trim. Massive sliding visor. But wait, there's more. We've got the panoramic roof that we've seen from Ford before. It goes all the way back, and this first portion can open up as well. Wait, there's still even a little bit more. Check that out. You got a power rear window. Now under the hood of the Super Duty, we have a bump in power and torque and overall capability. Some things are similar, some things are the same. This one is the top end 6.7 liter diesel, Power Stroke diesel V8, but now with more power. Now the base engine is now a 6.8 liter naturally aspirated V8 gasser. It's a pushrod engine. You still have the Godzilla 7.3 pushrod V8 engine as well, and the regular output 6.7 liter diesel as well. But this one, the high output right here, let me tell you. So this high output model gives us 500 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque paired with the Ford built 10-speed transmission. And since we have the long wheelbase, we can get the 48-gallon fuel tank. You've got fuel for days, and when you're towing, you're gonna need it. So obviously, specs for towing depend a lot, depending on your vehicle configuration, the cab, dual rear wheel, single rear wheel, the ratio of the back axle. It just depends. I'm gonna put a link in the description below that goes through all the specs for the different models. But this particular model right here, conventional towing is 27,000 pounds. And if you're gonna tow with a gooseneck, 31,300 pounds. That's some serious payload with a pickup like this. All right, y'all, we are now behind the wheel of this Super Duty, and I've driven this Super Duty a few different times, and it's always been nice to drive. I mean, considering it's a heavy duty pickup, you still have excellent power in this one. With these updates, things are gonna feel pretty similar, but I mean, the amount of torque in this vehicle is absolutely insane. And horsepower for a diesel like this, a V8 diesel with 500 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque, and that torque comes out really early. I mean, it's just effortless acceleration, and the towing numbers on this are fantastic as well, especially with this the dually back there. I mean, now I'm gonna go over a couple little bumps right here, or things that upset a lot of vehicles, and this is actually surprisingly comfortable. I mean, I have been in a couple heavy duties in the past, different brands, where it can just rattle the crap out of the inside of the cabin, but it's not that bad in here, and it probably helps having this long wheelbase. Now, visibility out of here is also great. You've got good mirrors. You can see where your fenders are for the dually and your tires, so it's not that hard to navigate in here and to get around if you're not used to driving a dually. It does take up a pretty large portion of the lane or parking spot, but this is surprisingly easy to navigate, and you've got the camera system on there as well. And just the amount of power and torque in here is fantastic. If you're going to be towing, pedal down. The other thing about this is the 10-speed in here has been really smooth. It's been excellent. Now, I haven't been able to push it and challenge it with a heavy load to tow. I wish I could tow 30,000 pounds like this is supposed to be able to, but I don't have anything like that. Now, if you're hot shotting, or if you've got a lot of equipment, ranching, whatever it may be, construction, this has so much to offer in terms of not just its towing and payload capability, but the practicality of it too. The storage in it, the long bed availability, the steps to getting into the bed. This is a luxury trim, but you can get a lot of the stuff that you would need on lower trim levels. And it's just easy to drive. If you're gonna take this on long distance trips, still, it's gonna be easy too. It's very comfortable. You've got a massaging seat in here if you want. I've actually averaged 14.6 miles per gallon, no towing, just driving around highway, driving around town, 14.6. Now, for a vehicle like this and this much power, that's not terrible. And the towing is going to be pretty darn effortless with how much torque you have in here. It's insane, and it comes out so early. I mean, seriously, the RPM, just at 2,000 RPM, you get so much torque that comes out right away. But back to using this as a work truck, you've got serious capability. You've got a ton of space inside. You can use it as like a mobile office with the Wi-Fi that it has. The one thing I wish I could have in here is the folding console. Like this folds down onto here to where you have a flat like desk work surface like you get in the light duties. They have their folding shifter and then this folds down. But I wish that we could get that right here in this particular trim here too, but not a big deal or complaint. Tons of plugs, power. You can basically, you know, power up a lot of plug-in items for whatever you're doing for work as well. With the Pro Power onboard, you've got a couple plugs in the cabin as well. It's a serious tool. I mean, this is the luxurious trim. But if we forget about the fact that this is the luxury limited trim and think about the work aspect of it, this is an excellent tool for your typical worker. And more on the driving dynamics, I mean, it's easy to drive. You've got nice light steering, but the turning radius isn't great, obviously, because of how long it is, but it's really effortless turning. I mean, it's so easy spinning this wheel around and maneuvering this large of a vehicle. And it's got large brakes, big heavy duty brakes, gets you slowed down right away. It's also very quiet. You've got laminated windows right here, so this has a double laminate glass. The same thing with the windshield, so you've got a quiet interior, makes it really comfortable and peaceful to be in. So to wrap things up on the 2023 Super Duty, I love that Ford has upped the ante. Ford is just leading the pack. It is the king of the HD segment, in my opinion. You've got a ton of tech and features inside if you want, like this limited trim. You've got a ton of power, a ton of torque. You've got multiple different engine options, including a couple gas engine options or diesel options to suit whatever your needs are. Let me know what you think. Obviously, this is a super expensive truck. Most of you aren't going to go for the limited trim, but it's there if you want it. Let me know what you think of the Super Duty, and would you take this over any of the other heavy duty trucks? Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.